Hello family, good day and welcome to WAP Farm Talk. Today we are here at Kamsi Farm. I'll be your host for today. I am Matilda and we are going to delve into cattle farming. So if you are interested in learning, just get along while we interview and then learn more. If you find this information helpful, please like, subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you get notified each time we post a new video. Let's get into it. So, good afternoon, sir. Can you please introduce yourself to us and talk a little about your farm?
Good afternoon. My name is Kamil Ibrahim Abu Sadat. I am the CEO of Kamsi Farms.
Can you please tell us about your farm? What inspired you into cattle rearing, for instance, and then what species or what breeds of cattle do you have?
Well, first of all, my junior brother is the one who introduced me into this cattle farm business.
Okay.
And we do it at home. It is not like my Fulani people as they are doing it in the bush.
Okay.
But we are trying to get a spacious place around our community to do it.
Okay.
So what I know and the experience that I've gained into this cattle farm, you need to have a lot of time.
Okay.
You need to have a lot of time before you get yourself into it. And you need also to make sure you keep their ranch clean, because of you are living within the community.
Okay, so before we get into the environmental health and all that, can you please tell us about the breeds of cattle you have and then why you chose them?
Well, as you can see, I have Bahamas breed, which we call it Gudali.
Okay.
One is here and then I have about 3 most of the time. That's the kind of breed I normally.
So do you get them from Ghana or you bring them from outside the country or something?
Well, I get them from Ghana here.
Okay.
Not like Akati. No, sorry, Yeji.
Okay.
And then Coupe and all that. That's where we normally get them.
Okay.
Sometimes too, we also consider the transportation. If you get some around this central region, we also go for it.
Okay, so what influenced your decision to take this particular breed?
Well, this particular breed, they are, let's say, they are too soft. You can play with them, and they are nice and cute, as you can see. So me, I love playing with cattle.
Okay.
So most of the time, I prefer to take this breed. And also, they have a lot of meat and they have a lot of weight in them, and people love them. Yeah, in buying them, people always, they will see a Gudali, this cow is nice and all that. As you can see yourself, as they are looking nice. That's why I love this type of breed.
Okay. So before we go on, I want to ask, if one wants to venture into cattle farming, what should the person consider? What are the necessary things the person should know before starting?
Well, first of all, you need to be a business-minded person. Second, you need to have resources.
Resources, you mean?
Resources, money, funds, okay, to start up. Thirdly, you need to also do more research about cattle farm before you get yourself into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you should get money.
Yeah.
Most importantly. Okay. So when it comes to feeding them, what do you usually do? Because I see you are in the community, in the center of the community, and I didn't see grasses around. I don't know what you feed them. So if you would like to tell us about how you feed them and what you feed them.
Oh, well, normally this plantain peel, the yam peel and cassava are the normal food I used to feed them with. Because and these fruits, pineapple, watermelon, or cabbage, the waste one, that's where normally the food I normally used to feed them with. For the grass, sometimes once in a while I cut the grass for them, then I'll bring it for them here to feed. I don't normally open them to go out.
So I want to ask, why don't you let them go out? Is there any reason?
Yes, please. In letting them going out, if you don't have that much time to do it always, you don't have to start letting them go out.
Okay.
Before you have to let your cow go out to eat, you have to consider the security, where they are going. You also have to consider your timing. If you don't have all of this, you need not to allow your cattle to go out. Because if they go out, we have farmers in the bush. They will normally go and then spoil their farming, and then it involves into a lot of misunderstanding with the farmers and then the cattle owner. Today you are in police station, tomorrow you are here, and I've experienced it from the Fulani people.
Okay.
Always they are at police station today, tomorrow, only because their cattle has destroyed the farmers'
Produce.
what they produce. You understand?
Yes.
That's why I don't let them go out. And more importantly, the cassava peel, the food, the kind of food we give them here, it is more healthy, and it makes their meat to look good. When we talk of red meat,
Okay.
red meat, if you give them this cassava peel, pineapple, plantain and all that, it makes their meat thick. This cattle, his meat 1 kilo, let's say 2 kilo is the other meat 1 kilo, because they have weight. It let them gain more weight than the one that they used to go out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you put in place? What are the measures you put in place to ensure that you don't get diseases? And how do you control them or prevent them?
Well, they have sicknesses. They have sicknesses like sulfur, tylosin, and normally the type of disease that they have. Sometimes if you bring a new cow.
So in cattle farming, are there challenges involved or they are rosy?
Cattle farming, there are a lot of challenges.
Okay.
The thieves. The thieves are the number one challenges. All cattle farmers are scared of.
Thieves.
And then the disease. The disease too. Assuming you bring a new cow, if I bring a new cow today, I don't have to mix them with the old ones that I have.
Why is that?
Because they don't have any disease.
Okay.
The moment I notice any disease from any of them, I inject them and make sure I treat them.
Okay, so do you care
But
to
the
tell
new
us?
one, if I bring it, assuming the one that is outside is a new cow, so I have to isolate him.
Okay.
To make sure I feed him, I treat him, to make sure that he's not having any disease in him before I will allow him to enter, because they all eat the same food, they drink the same water. So if I should have put him inside with the disease that he brought, it will affect all of them, because they are drinking the same water and then they are putting their mouth into the same box that they are eating. So I have to isolate him, give him his water, food different. You understand? understand?
Okay. So, is there a way to detect when the cattle is sick or
Yes,
something?
there is a way to detect. That is why, first of all, I told you time. You need to have, if you don't have time, you don't have to get yourself into cattle business. Even if you give it to somebody to take care of them for you, the cow owner, you need to have time to be visiting them and all that.
Okay.
You understand? You notice the activeness of the cow. If he's too slow, he's too dull, he doesn't eat as he normally used to. You have to know that no, this cow maybe he need more motivate, or maybe he's dull, or you notice some changes. So normally when they are slow like this, sometimes you watch the feeding. If the feeding doesn't go how he normally eats, that means he's facing some tyrosine symptoms.
Okay.
You understand? Sometimes they cough. The way they cough, when they cough, you see that their stomach. They cough with their stomach.
Okay.
So that's where you notice that
Something is wrong.
Sometimes too, they are breathing. When they breathe, assuming I'm going to give them food, you hear some scents. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, from their breath. Then you notice, no, this is not a normal breath.
Okay.
You understand? You know that you have to treat them. So in doing that, you don't treat the cow alone. You treat all of them.
And why is that?
Because they drink the same water.
Okay.
You understand? The same water that the sick cow is going to drink is the same thing that the one that is not sick is going to drink. So in treating all of them, it is more safer. So if even the disease want to transfer to the one that is not sick, but automatically you've already inject him, so the sickness will not be able to attack him. You understand?
Okay. So, in the life of cattle, how many times do they give birth, and can you take us through that process?
Yeah. Well, normally a year they give birth to one every 9 months.
Oh, just
Yeah,
like human.
just like human. Sometimes they give birth to two at the same time, but it is hardly for a cow to give birth to two, but they normally give birth once a year.
So, how old can they be before giving birth or getting involved?
2 years. 2 years.
So, fresh from birth, it should be 2 years, then it can start.
Yes.
Okay. So, you spoke about pests and diseases that affect them. So, how often do you vaccinate them? Is it necessary to vaccinate them, and how often should you do that?
It's necessary to vaccinate them even if they are not sick or you do not notice any sign of sicknesses in them. So I normally do vaccinate them and deworm them every 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Okay. And then you were initially talking about the environmental safety and health and the conditions in their pen. So, what activities do you put in place to make sure that you don't affect the people in the community with any form of diseases? And how do you also keep them safe and clean?
I make sure I clean this place 2 times a day, morning and then in the evening. And with the help of the sawdust, it helps. It doesn't let the saints, the urine saints, and then the this thing saint to disturb the people in the community. Whenever you put this sawdust, it helps to hold the saints from spreading for people. Assuming the way we are sitting here, if you come here, you notice the smell. The sawdust help the place to
calm
calm the smell, and then make sure the place is in good shape for them. And also it helps their skin for their toilet. I don't know how to call it.
Their feces.
Their feces. The sawdust help the feces not to be too stiff on their skin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the sawdust help us a lot, and we can't do without it.
Okay.
If you are only having cattle in the house, not in the bush, and in an environment like this, you need to get the sawdust always. You don't have to get a day without the sawdust.
Okay.
If not that, the smell will disturb people here.
So talking about the sawdust, does it mean that you change them from time to time, or you keep adding, or what?
I change them.
About it?
Sometimes when they feed on it, I pick it. I use the shovel and then the broom, and then I'll pick it. Sometimes too, if like the way that the one that is inside, I have to change it.
Okay.
You understand? I started collecting. I didn't add new one because we are getting into Ramadan. People will be coming here to pray, so I want to change all the sawdust.
Okay.
Sometimes I change all, sometimes I don't change all. You understand?
Okay. And how long should it take before you change them?
2-3 days. If you don't have it like mine, like 2-3 days, you have to change it. But normally, the way the method I'm using my own, I normally leave it for 2 weeks before changing them. You understand? But for here, that is where I normally change it because it's outside.
Okay. So you spoke about the Ramadan. How is market like during the Ramadan season?
Well, during Ramadan season, cow used to be expensive.
Okay.
Even from the north. Reason is that they know after Eid al-Fitr, in 2 months' time, you are celebrating Eid al-Adha.
Okay.
That is where you need the cow. So the market is flowing during Ramadan, and at the same time, the cows are also expensive.
Okay. I had initially wanted to even ask you of ready markets. Is there ready markets when you want to venture into cattle farming?
Ready markets? Yeah.
How often do people buy?
Sometimes funerals, wedding, naming ceremony, birthday, they normally buy cows. But most importantly, during Christmas time. During Christmas time, and then Eid al-Adha, when it reached to our Hajj time, people normally used to buy cattle. That's the season people used to buy cattle.
So usually
Christmas and then Eid al-Adha time.
Okay, so usually there is ready market for cows.
Yes.
And every time you can sell.
Yeah, aside funeral.
Okay.
And then the butchers too. They normally purchase cows, but sometimes not like ours that we are doing it around our communities, because ours is expensive. The reason why it's expensive is because of the feeding, because you go and buy these plantain yam pills and all that. We bought it. They don't give it to us for free. Though I'm having one in Accra. The one that I'm having in Accra, the disadvantage is that in Accra you have to buy anything. Out of 100% of their feed, you have to buy 99%. Okay. But in Winneba here, you have to 70% free, 30% you have to buy. So that is where I calculated the expenses that I said, let me open one branch here.
In Winneba.
Yeah, in Winneba.
Okay. But I don't think you mentioned your farm name to us, so why don't you mention it now?
Kamzi Farms, that's my farm's name.
Okay.
My first 3 letters of my name, and then 3 letters of my first daughter's name that I combine made to be Kamzi Farms. My name is Kamil, the K-E-M. My first daughter name is Zinatu, the Z-double-E. So that is why I combine it to be Kamzi Farms.
Moreover, we know of the cattle. If you want to sell, do you sell only males or female, or you sell both, or how do you go about that?
I sell only male cattle.
Okay.
I don't deal with female cattle. Although if someone wants female cattle, I can go and get it for him. But I don't sell female because I don't have enough space to get a female cattle here.
So do you mind telling us how long you have been in this cattle farming business, and then how many you started with and how many you have now, if you don't mind?
I started cattle business since 2014.
Okay.
Since 2014, I started with 2. Gradually, then the numbers keep increasing. So 2016, I have faced some financial difficulties, which I left with 1 cow. So the one big cow that I left with, I managed, after selling it, I bought 3 cows with the one. I started it again till date.
Okay.
Currently, I will not mention the numbers of the cows for some security reasons, but I have quite numbers of them.
So within your 10 years journey, tell us roughly how many cattle you'll be able to sell during the period.
Well, I cannot tell exact numbers, but as I said earlier, in Christmas time, I normally used to sell 6-7 cattle. And then in Eid al-Adha, in our Salah time, I sell more than 10 cows. So if you calculate it, let's say from 10 Christmas, which means in a year, 10 plus 7, let's take it 70, right? So let's take it, you calculate it in a year. That is the Christmas and then Eid al-Adha, you understand? But if you take that out, selling it normal days like funerals, weddings, naming ceremony, it's quite a number. I can't even mention the exact numbers of the cow.
So you will say venturing into cattle farming is more?
I will advise every entrepreneur to get involved into farming, especially cattle farming. Me, I choose cattle farming 100 times over transport because I've been in a transport business before, which is not favorable.
Okay.
So I decided to jump into this. So being into a cattle farming has really helped me so much. I use this to build my house. I use this to get married, take care of my families and all that.
Okay. So I usually see the Muslims like venture into cattle farming. I don't know if other side, the Christians or others also do, and then
always do. When you go, always they get into cattle farming a lot. Other Christians too. I have one Christian friend who is into cattle farming. Even in Winneba here, the day I saw that he's a Christian, I was kind of wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm amazed because that's my first time do. But for hours, I know most of them. But the Christians have cattle. They normally give it to the Fulani to take care of them. Most of Christians are into cattle farm, but they don't take care of them like the way we do. We stand in it and all that. It is only one. You understand?
So, Mr. Camel, though we spoke about what you would need to start cattle farm at the beginning or somewhere within the interview, but we still want to know more. If one wants to venture into cattle farming, how many cattle will you advise the person starts with, and moreover, at what a month old?
Well, it depends your money,
Okay.
your resources. You know, when one wants to start a business, first you need to check your capital. So your capital will tell you whether I need 2, 3, 4 to start up with.
And how old can the person start with?
Maybe 6-month cow, 5-month cow, 1 year cow you can start with. 1 year is too much. 6 months. 6-month cow you can buy 6-month cow and then start with them.
Okay. And how many should the person start with? 1 or
You can start up with 2. But if it depends, as I said earlier, if you have 1, you can start up with 1 and take care of him for about 6 months. Because if you start with a 6-month-old cow, you start up with him, and then the year 6 months plus 6 months. If you sell, you can buy 2 cows. Yeah, so I think even 1 you can start up with, but 2, 3 is advisable. It's for you to always have a backup in case one gets sick, and maybe in case of loss, you need to have a backup. So 2, 3 is advisable.
Okay, so starting a cattle farm, what is the housing system involved?
First of all, you need to get them the fence, as you see here. You need to get them the fence. You need to make sure you have spacious place for them. You can't, assuming here, you can't put 20 cows here. You understand? 7, 8, 10, normally 10, it's okay. You understand? You need to have a spacious place for that before you can start up with.
And must you always keep them like you do, or there are other ways to house them or look after them?
Well, if I like, I can open them to come outside, for them to be walking around here. They will not go anywhere. They will not go anywhere. They will just be around this place. But because of how I want the environment to be always clean, they will feed anywhere. That is why I decide also not to even open them at all, to keep them inside.
So keeping them inside, does it affect them?
No.
Are there times you take them out or something?
No. It doesn't affect them.
Okay.
It doesn't affect them at all. Just that sometimes when they get the chance to come out, they will be jumping and then stretching up their legs, and they are happy. They will be jumping, assuming like when the light normally goes off. The time we were kids, and then they on the light, the way we jump, so they normally have that. When they come out, they jump happy, and then they will soon go back inside.
So which do you advise? Should anyone who wants to venture into cattle farming keep them the way you do, or also allow them to be outdoor and go out, feed and all that? Which one is best?
I will advise for them to go out.
Okay.
Sometimes we also keep them here is because of the thieves. Security reasons. When they go out or they are in the bush, you are in your house, easily for thieves to come and steal it. So if you know you have a good security system, you can keep them in the bush. But if you know you don't have good security system like mine, you better keep it here.
Okay. So a person starting with 1 cow, what do you advise the person to?
She start it in the house.
Okay.
She start it in the house. So if there are quite of numbers like 30, you can't keep the 30 cows here. You said you can't keep 30 cows here. You need to take it to the bush because of the environment. It's not safe.
Okay, so Mr. Sadat, do you mind telling us about some of the diseases, the vaccines or the medicines you used in curing them?
We have sulfur. The name of the disease itself is sulfur.
Okay.
Then we have tylosin. And then tylosin diseases, then the name of the medicine is tylosin.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. And then sometimes we have injecting violet too.
Okay. What does that do?
For wound.
Okay.
For wound.
If somebody wants to train, do you do that?
Yeah, I do that.
Do you have people you are training already?
I have my boy that I'm training him.
Okay. How long does it take for somebody to train for them?
Depends. Sometimes your smartness, maybe the person can even get more knowledge more than I do. Okay. You understand? But first of all, if you want to get yourself into cattle work or business like mine, you need to be hard. Or this work, lazy people don't get into cattle business like mine. If you get yourself into it, the place will be smelling, and then people will be talking to you anyhow, because if this place is smelling, nobody can even sit here. So you need to be hard work, no laziness.
I see that because your environment still smells very good, testifying to it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I know you do sell at a point, and I know you would want to share your social media handle with us so that if people want to reach you, they can contact you, and then maybe you can tell us just a little more about it.
Yeah. When you go on Facebook, just type Kamsi Farms. You see Kamsi Farms. I'm the only Kamsi Farms on Facebook.
Okay.
So when you type Kamsi Farms, you see my logo with the green, with the on, and the KZ sign. If you see the KZ sign, which means I am the one. Instagram, I'm also there. If you go on Snap, I'm also there. If you go on TikTok, I'm also there. I'm all over, worldwide.
So do you mind sharing your contact so that one who want to reach you over phone would be easy, or what's
Why not? Yes. You can contact me on 0247 602030.
would you like to?
0247 602030 or 050 408 3447. That's the locations in Winneba here.
Okay.
With the other locations in Accra, the number, if you call on this number, I will direct you to the other locations, because I don't have the number in my head.
So that is to say you have other farms elsewhere?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Would you like to mention them to us?
Accra, Abosokan, that's the location. When you get to Accra, Abosokan, ask for Kamsi Farms, is there.
Okay. So, Mr. Sadat, it's been nice communicating with you and then learning about your farm and then what goes into it. But before we sign out, I would like you to advise our viewers about cattle farming and all that.
Well, before getting into cattle farming, one must be a hard-working person, a very hard-working person. Cattle farms is not for lazy people. Cattle farming, like my own in the house, you need to be hard work. You need to have a lot of time. You need to have a lot of time, and also business-minded person. You need to be one as a business-minded person. Cattle farm is the best farming that I tell anybody or the youth to get involved into cattle farming. It's very helpful, and in Islamic too, God used to reward you. Keeping them, feeding them, it is also a blessing from God.
Okay, so Mr. Sadat, apart from cattle farming, what other livestock farming would you like to involve in?
I want to get involved into goats and then rams. We have this breed, they are from Niger. Their breed is very nice. I think that's my next step. Yeah.
And why is that decision?
Because it also, as someone was sitting over there waiting for me, he's looking for ram.
Oh, okay.
And I don't sell ram. I have to connect him to somebody who sells ram. So normally people ask about rams and goats. So assuming if I have a spacious place, even like around here, I will add rams to them.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sadat. It's been insightful talking to you and getting to learn about your farm and how you keep your environment so neat.
I'm most grateful for the nice and then the wonderful time you spent also interviewing me asking me much more about my business. Thank you very much.
So thank you for watching. If you find this information more educative or exciting, kindly follow us, like and subscribe. Also turn on your notification bell so that you get informed each time we load another video. Thank you.